Alright, we're only doing the seven most like well-known and likely folks, because I don't have time to get through all of them. Actually, eight. I just saw Josh Shapiro down there. Alright, so we're only doing the biggest ones, and we're ranking them by how many people they'd be likely to tolerate the death of if it means that they could remain president. Alright, let's start with Stephen A. Smith. He's a do-nothing guy. Actively contribute to the deaths of thousands, but I don't think like he wouldn't be gleeful about it. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't be gleeful. Like he wouldn't like that. He would just like kind of like tolerate that as a thing that has to happen in his mind. You know what I mean? So definitely like the devil, but not like the most evil out there. You know what I mean? Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro goes in there too. I should front that. I kind of make a difference between like I categorize Zionists into like two types of Zionists, right? The Zionists that are idiots that simply don't know any better, and to an extent they have my empathy because they're just victims of propaganda, right? They're not the biggest victims of what's going on right now. They're not being genocided, but they're kind of dumb, and I understand it, right? To an extent, I empathize with their opinions as much as they are wrong. And then there's the latter type of Zionists, which is non-Jewish Zionists. And I think if you're a non-Jewish Zionist, you're just Hitler. Josh Shapiro is a Zionist, but he is also a Jew, so I think he's just like been propagandized into it. I don't think he would take any glee in actively contributing to the deaths of thousands in the Gaza Strip, but you know, he would let it happen, and he would feel just kind of bad about it. Who else do we rank next? I think Harris. Harris is a snake in the sense that like she would do anything and take pleasure in it if it meant furthering her political career. We know this, you know what I mean? And plus, like, I mean, she was like actively pro, like the vice president of an actively pro genocide person at the end of the day. So there is that. That's not great. You know what I mean? Gavin Newsom, that man is the devil. I think he belongs in the same tier as Kamala Harris because he is essentially the same person. Also, Kamala Harris pretends not to have much of an opinion on Israel, and frankly, I don't think she does. I think her opinion on Israel is merely limited to whatever it is that will further grow her political career because she's a deeply selfish person. Whereas Gavin Newsom is like actively evil. I mean, first off, compared to like Josh Shapiro, they're both Zionists, but he is not a Jew, which means that he is the devil. So, you know, actively evil man right there. If Gavin Newsom becomes president in 2028, I genuinely fear for what the fuck could happen. Not just in Gaza, actually. I think kind of the entire planet, if I'm being honest. Um, who are we ranking next? Fucking Cuomo. They would willingly let thousands die. I don't think he's that involved. You know what I mean? It's insane he's on this list at all, but like I think President Cuomo would get approached by Netanyahu on whether he is allowed to nuke Gaza, and he'd go, sure, whatever, and then go back to raping a coworker or some shit. That's just what he does. You know what I mean? So like compared to most of these people, yeah, I mean he's better objectively. Now on to the last three, right? Jon Stewart would let thousands die but feel really bad about it. He has too much of the vibes of like a centrist Democrat that does nothing, which I know is very hypocritical for me to say. I'm a centrist, but like, you know, he just gives me that vibe too much. You know what I mean? He's too like peace and love and non-confrontational. And I get that I'm a radical pacifist saying that. I know that sounds insane, but you get it. You know what I mean? He'd let thousands die, but he'd feel really bad about it. Now, John Fetterman, the devil, right? John Fetterman, every night John Fetterman goes to bed miserable, sad that he didn't get to end a Palestinian life today. Really, it makes him sad. He's actually a very miserable existence. I would feel bad for him if he wasn't the devil. He is, he's like the worst type of Zionist because once again, he's a Zionist, but he's not even a Jew, I think. So he really is just the devil. You know what I mean? He's kind of like the worst of both worlds. Like he's a Zionist, uh, because he doesn't want to be near Jewish people, I assume, because he's the devil, so he's probably anti-Semitic, and he's also a Zionist because he wants Palestinian people dead. He's just kind of the devil. He's a devil. He's the devil. Uh, and then the last person we're ranking today, AOC. I think AOC would let thousands of people die, but feel really bad about it. I genuinely believe that. She's very like she's like the Democrat Andreas type, which is not something that I'm fundamentally ideologically opposed to, but like she would see like the deaths of many Palestinians as a necessity so that she can get into power and encroach her position within power, and then in the future be able to do something about it, which is not a position that I respect, but it is how she thinks. She'd feel really bad about it, you see. So yeah, that's a pretty insane video concept. Is there anyone else in there that I feel like ranking right now? Nah, not really. None of these people are really serious right now, if I'm being honest. So yeah, that's pretty bad, isn't it? God, I hate America.